All right. If you can't tell, today we're doing something a little bit different. For those of you that don't know, my name is Daniel, AKA Danzbeard, and this is Stephanie, AKA Little Miss Fitzbo. And why don't you let them know what we are doing today?
So today we are reviewing the Lumix G100, which is Panasonic's newest camera. It is made for the everyday vlogger and content creator.
Yeah, so this camera, awesome. As you can tell, size-wise, it's absolutely amazing. And I didn't really know that they were coming out with something until, they reached out to us to do this review. Mm-hmm. And we use this on our trip to Kentucky and Nashville, so it was perfect timing. Now, to get things started, as far as the megapixels, it's 20.3 and it shoots up to 4K.
However, it does shoot for 4K, but is optimized to shoot video at 1080 60p frames per second.
Now, this is their vlogging camera, and there's really cool things as far as the audio. Why don't you tell them about the audio?
Yes, so it is now Ozo audio, which is by Nokia. And so it has subject tracking. So if I'm filming it this way, it's gonna track my face and pick up the audio from in the front. However, if I'm filming, say, a food clip and shooting the food, then the audio is gonna pick up from behind me and pick up my voice where I'm talking. Unfortunately, it's our last day in Nashville. We just made it to our room in Nashville, and there's an envelope for us. Daniel and Steph.
Must be that VIP treatment or something.
Super rad. Like I'd never really heard anything about this. And the great thing about having that mic, now when we were out in Kentucky, we were in a bar.
All right guys, we are at 6th and Peabody, which has the moonshine tasting.
And I had my camera set up with an external mic, and she just had this with no extra mic whatsoever. And the mic that I was using picked up the bar music, or the music that was going in the bar, so I couldn't even use it for my vlog, because if I were to post it up on my YouTube, it would have been demonetized because it was picking up that song. So it's awesome. So not only that, not only the monetization factor about it, but the fact that you don't have to have an external mic that makes it even bigger, which she'll tell you why she prefers that.
I love that I don't have to put a mic on, because personally, I get really shy vlogging in public, so having an extra microphone on top of this just makes it that much more like showy. And so this is without a microphone, it's very discreet, and I love that I don't need a microphone on top of this. However, you are able to put a microphone on top if you prefer that.
Honestly, I'm one that always uses external mics, and with that, after listening to the footage, I would be more than comfortable with not using an external mic on that. So that's really saying a lot, because I mean, I'm very critical when it comes to audio. I hope the audio on this video is fine prior to saying that. But yeah, I'm very critical about that. And what else? Oh, and of course it has a flippy screen. Having that on that, it just makes it so much more convenient, because I don't consider it a hassle when I have to turn it around, and there's no guessing games when it comes to framing and composition and whatnot. It's just such a stress reliever. And I mean, I was getting used to not having a flippy screen, because I did have the G85, and then I switched cameras, and initially I hated it. I hated vlogging without the flippy screen, but I got used to it. But then after us, it's kind of tragic. It's a bittersweet. After using this in Kentucky and Nashville, I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed the flippy screen. And the flippy screen, 3 inches. I think it's like 1.8 million dots. I don't know. We'll like plug that into the video right here. Boop. As far as the specs for the flippy screen.
Yes,
what else?
But having the vlogging flip out screen is kind of essential for a vlogging camera nowadays. If you don't have one, you're kind of out of luck, and you're kind of playing the guessing game, like you said. I like it, however, I need to stare at the lens instead of myself in the flip screen. Yeah. Most people can stare at the lens.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's it. When we were out there, I even found myself looking at the LCD screen. Oh, the one other thing. So with that flippy screen, so it is touch, which is amazing, because there's not a lot of other companies. There's a couple other companies that do have a flip screen, but it's not a touch screen. And then there's those companies that don't even have a flip screen, and they have a screen and it's not touch screen. So that makes it even more user friendly and quick. I can't get over how freaking awesome this is. And price wise, what is like $750?
$750 for the camera body alone with the lens. However, for $800, it comes with the grip tripod remote, which is amazing because
super clutch.
You can start and stop your video or shoot stills with these two buttons right here, which is so convenient.
And I mean, you don't really think about it. Like she says, and you're like, so what? But when you are sitting here vlogging and you don't have to try to find where the record button is, you just have boop, like two big buttons like right on the front. One more thing as far as the functionality of this camera that I'm blown away.
And it does come with a kit lens. It's a 12 to 32 lens, which is perfect for vlogging. I'm still able to hold it far enough out and get both of us in the same screen. And I have short arms.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because yeah, we're so used to whenever we do want to do vlogging stuff with our other cameras that we have to use my arm because her arms aren't nearly as long enough, but I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so it is a 5-axis hybrid image stabilization.
And again, I'm going to go back to a camera that I use. Supposedly it has IBIS. It's not usable, and this actually has it has usable image stabilization, so that's freaking awesome. Again, you don't have to walk around with a big old gimbal. It's freaking awesome, or a glide cam. It's just, this is all that you need right here. It's so freaking awesome.
I have a Lumix G7 with another tripod vlogging handle. I thought that was compact until I compared it to this, and this is really compact, very light. Even the whole camera body is very light.
Now, going into the size, so they also, I mean, in addition to the small package, in order to have a small package, they did have to use different batteries. The batteries, they last for, 270 shots. And as far as recording time, I think it's 70 to 90 minutes of record time, which
4K.
Isn't 4K, which isn't bad at all. Just make sure when you are out using this, have at least 4 batteries on you, and you'll be fine. We got away with just using 2 batteries, and that lasted us for the day.
And I only switched it one time when we got back, just so I was safe when we went out, but I always carried my extra battery just in case. And then as far as continuous recording time, it shoots 10 minutes
at 4K.
At 4K, and then 20 minutes at 1080.
Yeah, which isn't bad at all. I mean, a lot of the other cameras, they have like a 20 to 30 cap off and then they stop recording. So, and they're like 2 to 3 times the price of this. So that's really good. So, and going back to the battery thing, I'm very paranoid when it comes to batteries. I never want to run out of batteries. So I say get 4. But again, when we were out there, we only had 2 and we never ran out of battery life during the day when we were shooting. And she's pretty much shooting absolutely everything, which isn't bad. And here's the thing. She was using it, you were using it a lot more than you usually do because it's so easy.
And it's so small. Like, I don't like taking out like my other cameras that are so bulky in like the middle of public places because to me, like I said, I'm just a shy person. That's me. And so the fact that I can just take this out and it's basically the size of smaller than my phone, pretty much. Like, I took it out everywhere we went and I was not shy. I was all about the filming and getting our shots, and it worked perfectly for me.
You know what? The other one thing that you haven't touched on, and this isn't really relative to me, though it should be, is like how you flip it, like the vertical flipping.
That was on my next talking point.
Okay, let's hear about it.
So because this camera is made for content creators and vloggers, this is also ideal for vertical shooting. So TikTok, Instagram stories. It's so convenient to just shoot vertical video like this. And so when you're shooting like this and you have this hooked up to your phone on the Wi-Fi with the app, it'll transfer the footage to your phone so easily. And then you have high quality content for your TikToks, for your Instagram stories, now your Instagram Reels. This has, it's honestly perfect, especially with nowadays with a lot of things being vertical video. All right, so now this is me shooting in the vertical video mode, which makes it so convenient to shoot vertical video for TikToks, Instagram stories, Instagram Reels.
And what was the other thing that I thought that was craziness? The soft skin. So they have a soft skin, what is it, filter, built in?
They have like a slimming one. I haven't tried that. I'm gonna have to try that one. They have a lot of cool features.
All in all, I'm honestly thoroughly impressed, and being that I started with a G85, she has a G7, and we were looking for vlogging cameras and we just couldn't find anything that was perfect. And in all honesty, we couldn't have asked for a better camera.
This is exactly like, honest to God, this is literally everything I have been searching for the last 8 months. I've been watching so many YouTube review videos.
She says that, and I'm just sitting here like shaking my head like, yes, like I cannot believe that all of a sudden somebody reached out for us and it just happened to be the perfect camera that she was looking for. We're super stoked.
And then one other feature that I wanted to touch on was the S&Q dial, which is on top of the camera, which stands for slow and quick motion. You can easily record video and do slow or quick motion, and you can choose how fast, 2 times or 4 times. So I love it because I like making time-lapse videos for my stories. So I just hit the S&Q mode, turn it to vertical, and like if I'm walking to a restaurant or like walking anywhere, I love just adding those kind of cool little clips to my stories. So I'm gonna switch to time-lapse mode and we're gonna walk to dinner. Let's go.
Speaking my heart like it really is, 'cause I can't take another no. I see, I like, I go, I get, no one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get, go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now.
So this makes it very convenient and quick to do it, so I don't have to do it on my iPhone.
Okay, so one more thing that I was thinking of is when we were in Nashville, and I think it was when we were in Nashville, where I said, you know what? Let's see how the dynamic range is, because this is a micro four thirds. So, I mean, as opposed to a full frame camera, you're not going to get as much of as a dynamic range. Like there's gonna be potential clipping at your highs and your lows. And so we tested it out, and as we had everything on automatic, and as we were stepping from the shade to the sunlight, like it was a nice smooth transition as far as the ISO, and it's still like you could still see a great picture of our faces. Our faces weren't too dark, and the sky wasn't blown out at all. And I was honestly impressed, especially for a micro four thirds. I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, you get, as soon as we like stepped out, I thought like the skies were blown out. You could see the blue skies.
See, so we're stepping in the sunlight. How's it tracking us?
It's still
It's
tracking.
still legit, and nothing is blown out. I mean,
Yeah.
our faces are a little underexposed.
You can see the blue sky.
Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, this camera is awesome.
Well done, Panasonic.
Yeah,
Panasonic.
I love this.
Now, I'm trying to think of any cons that I can think of with this camera. Off the top of my head, I guess one thing would be the time limit when it comes to recording, being at 10 minutes at 4K. But to me, in all honesty, that's not a deal breaker for me, especially when you look at other cameras that are 2 to 3 times as much and they have a 20 or 30 minute record time. So 10 minutes, I can definitely do with that, especially with a vlogging camera. Maybe the battery life, but if you're going to have a small camera, you're going to have a smaller battery, so you can't expect to go hours on hours with just one battery because it is smaller. But again, that's not a deal breaker. We had 2 batteries, and that was more than enough for when we were on our trips.
Yeah, and if you're vlogging, I don't think you're gonna be vlogging more than like 10 minutes
No.
at a time.
What? 2 negatives that aren't deal breakers that I can think of? I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I think that we've covered pretty much everything on this camera.
Yeah. So with that said, thank you Lumix, thank you Horn Photo in Fresno for giving us this opportunity to review this camera.
Yes, thank you. This has been awesome.
Yeah, super stoked. I mean, in all honesty, I might have to buy one for myself because
Yeah.
she's not going to let me touch this.
No, this is like, I was like my baby now. Like, I take it everywhere we go because now I'm super excited to vlog because for a while, like I said, I was shy. And so every time we went places, I would just record on my iPhone and then I don't know, I didn't really do anything with the footage. And now I'm like, take this everywhere we go. And I'm excited to go places once we're out of quarantine.
Oh, color. Did we talk about color?
No, we haven't talked about the color yet.
Color science, phenomenal. This again, very impressed with the autofocus and how far they've come from the G85 to the G100.
And with the price point and the autofocus, when we were walking the streets of Nashville, it like picked us up so fast.
What?
One more thing.
Okay.
We keep saying one more thing.
Yeah.
So we were at a bar in Nashville. It was at night, and he took a photo of me during sunset, and
In Germantown.
No, at up rooftop.
Oh, rooftop. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I was so impressed with the low light capability of this because the picture came out amazing. It didn't have like a lot of noise to it, and I'm not even sure what the ISO was at when he took it, but I really liked how the picture came out.
All right, so I think that's going to conclude it. Otherwise,
Long story long.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on going. Again, I'm Daniel, AKA Danzbeard. This is Stephanie, AKA Little Miss Fitzbo.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a vlogging camera, I highly recommend this.
Definitely.
Like, honestly, this is the perfect camera for me. And so I would suggest checking it out and seeing if this will work for you in your vlogging content creation needs.
Yeah, and again, thank you, Lumix. Thank you, Horn Photo of Fresno.
Yes, thank you guys very much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. Until next time.
Bye.
Peace! We out.